Welcome to this session on summertime heat. In this exercise, you will focus on running a report on peak summertime temperatures using the Summer tool. The temperatures outside as against the peak temperature for individual rooms or the entire building for all hours of a sun time can be viewed in this report tab. You can select rooms and then adjust design data to run the calculation using different rates and conditions. So I'm going to select the summertime tool from the calculations tab in the ribbon interface. So initially all the rooms are selected. I'm going to select none to deselect everything. And then we're going to select one of our zones. So I'm going to select the conditioned exterior rooms. So those are the rooms we'll run the report for. Then I'm going to switch over to the Design Data tab. And this is where we can set up the design data for the report. So we could add in air changes. We're just going to leave the default, no additional air changes. We can also specify a time for those additional air changes, or we can just use the occupancy periods that were set up for the rooms. And so by selecting no, it's just going to use those default occupancy periods. We're also going to check on to include the window fins. We can also set a temperature at which we want to avoid overheating. So in other words, it would add additional air changes into the calculation once we reach a specified temperature, and we could have it calculate that. We could also set a fixed air temperature, and then it would calculate the report based on that, assuming, an infinite supply of heating or cooling air at a fixed temperature. But we're going to leave the defaults when we run this report. Now we do want to set the design day. So this is a summertime heat calculation. So I'm going to change the design day to July 21st. And then we can recalculate our dry and wet temperatures based on our design day, which is tied to our weather profile. Now I'm going to switch over to the summary report. It's actually going to run that report based on our design data. So we can see here our location, our design day, the maximum temperature, and the minimum temperature. So we can see for each of the rooms that we had selected, it will give us what the outside temperature, the peak outside temperature, the time of that peak, right, at 1500 hours or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then what that peak temperature is inside the room. We could also switch to the full report tab, and it would actually give us those temperatures on an hour by hour basis for each room. So for instance, I could look at the front lobby and hour by hour see what the temperature would be, the peak temperature inside that room. So we can see in our front lobby, we've got a peak temperature of 30.1. If we look at our back lobby, it's similar. And one of the reasons these temperatures are fairly high is that we have a lot of glass on the exterior building, and maybe we need to look at how well insulated that glass is. I think at the moment we just had a single pane glazing. So I'm going to close this report. Again, I'm going to go back to my Home tab and look at the global changes. I'm also, again, going to check the conditioned exterior rooms because that's where our glass would be. And we're going to expand our window type. So originally we put this OptiFloat clear 6 millimeter no blind. So it's just a single pane of glass. So let's change our window type or glass type and find one that's got some argon air between 2 panes of glass and includes a blind. So I'm going to select this one here and then apply those changes. So that's going to change all the windows in the building. And then we'll select close. And then I'm going to go back to the calculations and select our summertime heat again. Note the same rooms are still selected. The design data is the same as what we had set previously. And we'll go back to our summary report. And notice that those peak temperatures have come down a little bit for both our front and back lobby. We're down to about 28 versus the 30, 31 that we were previously. Could look at the full report and see again those peak temperatures. So we're down to 28 degrees. So I'll go ahead and close this dialog, and in the next session we'll take a look at heat loss.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.